Okay, I'm not even sure if this is gonna be doable. I did not feel like making my bed today, so I'm in a little bit different of scenery for my bump date video. So, if it's your first time stumbling on my videos, I am, oh my God, I'm 10 weeks. I'm 10 weeks pregnant. Our first little boy, our little baby. My husband and I got pregnant through IVF, and I have everything that has to do with that on my channel. So if that's something that you are interested in or want to know a little bit more of, it's definitely on my channel. But little baby boy is a brewing. I'm excited for the bump. I want to bump, 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 bump. My world was rocked. And let me tell you, at my 7-week appointment, my doctor said, "Are you puking?" And I was like, "No, I've barely been nauseous. Feel great." And he said, "Well, that's good, because if you're gonna start puking, it would have already started." So I'm like, oh really? Oh my gosh, yes. Like, yes queen, living my best pregnant life. And then 8 weeks hit. 8 weeks, and I'm talking like the day I turned 8 weeks. I literally felt like I got hit by a train, okay? So let's go back in my phone. The first day of my 8 weeks, I was still just like super, super, super tired. I was pretty nauseous from the end of my week 7, but it was more like, oh, that's kind of nasty. Like that kind of nausea. And it would just be like triggered by smells. That's another thing I noticed in these past 2 weeks. Ugh, the smells. Whenever they tell you when you're pregnant that you can literally smell anything, I can smell anything, anything. Another one that's really bad, and I feel so bad about this, and please tell me if you can relate to this, because I feel like Cruella herself, who's kind of fabulous. Anyway, I can't stand, oh my God, I don't even want to say this out loud. I can't stand my husband. There, I said it. I cannot stand the smell of Matt. And he doesn't stink, he doesn't smell bad. It's just like his skin and his hair and his breath. And I'm talking like fresh out the shower after work, and we'll be laying in bed at night and I'm just like, get away. I'm just like he'll be telling me a story and I'm like, yeah, like trying to like scoot back, and just, I have washed every blanket in the house, washed our bedding way more often than usual. And it's just, I'm sick of the smell thing. Does that last the whole time, or is that just like a first trimester thing? I don't know. The heartbeat at 8 weeks was 166. And I put in my phone, week 8 is a bitch. And at this week 8 appointment, my nurse said that week 8 leading up to week 9 was like a really, really big growth spurt week. And so I asked her, I was like, is that why I feel like all of this just hit me all of a sudden? She's like, it could be why you're really sick, not feeling good. So all throughout that week, I just felt like I had the flu. I just felt like I had the flu that was lasting forever. It was the worst. It was the worst. Like, and I hate complaining, and I want to talk about that too, because I feel a lot of guilt for complaining. And there's some days where I am just in bed holding back tears because I just feel so sick. And I just feel like so much guilt, and that's why I get really emotional. And I just tell Matt, like, I hate saying that I don't feel good. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because I should be grateful. Like, I wanted this so bad, and now I'm just so sick. And he's like, babe, it's part of the process, it's okay. But that guilt is real. So if you can relate to that, you're not alone. Think about this combination, okay? You're in the car sick, but you gotta stay in the car for an entire week, okay? You also, the night before you got in the car and got car sick, drank an entire bottle of Don Julio tequila to yourself. And you also have the flu. That is like the best way for me to describe how I was feeling. It's awful. Y'all smell see, like they're making me like, can y'all go somewhere else? My dogs. Ugh, and it makes me feel so bad. Jesus Christ. I bathe Kylie so much now too because I just can't stand it and I feel so bad. She's gotten so many baths. And I'll be like so nauseous about to throw up and I'm just like, like washing her because I can't stand her smell. On top of being like super sick and being like, whoa, this is pregnancy. Why is it not as glamorous as everyone makes it seem? We happen to have a really bad injection night. Love those. I mean, every night is bad with the progesterone injections because they're just bad. They're bad injections. There's no way around it. But some nights are really bad, like a bad stick in the wrong place. And I get a shooting, numb, like nerve tingling pain, like down the back of my thigh type of pain. And that happened this night, and it was the first night that I was like really freaking sick. That like stuck me, and I knew instantly it was a bad spot, and I jumped a foot in the air when the needle was like still in me. And he was like, oh my God, babe. And he like pulled the needle out. I was pissed because I told him, because it's such a bad shot, no matter how much like it usually hurts, it pretty much hurts every night, but no matter how much it hurts, I always tell him, I don't care if robbers bust through our front doors, rob us, and you're in the middle of a shot, you finish the shot. Don't ever take it out because you don't want to be stuck twice with a shot. And the injection hurts the whole time as well. So, and then I had a full-on mental breakdown and I was like so pissed at him and I was telling him he was so stupid and he can't do anything right. And I was just, it was bad. Like really bad, and he does the best he can. Like I feel so bad for him. It's so stressful for him to give the shot. It's awful for me to get it, but like it is still awful for him to have to give it. So he does his best, but I just was on another level this day. The nausea just got worse and nothing would relieve it. And there was a point where I was like, okay, what if I just went in the bathroom, shoved my fingers down my throat and made myself throw up? Like, would I get relief? And a lot of things that I read and I like talked to with my momo, it's like, you're not gonna get relief because it's not the food in your stomach necessarily, it's your hormones that's making you sick. So I had those ginger chews that I showed you, the ginger candies that I got in my bump box in my last video, but I went ahead and ordered these Preggy Pop Plus. So I guess they're like extra strength Preggy Pops. And they actually work pretty good. They just like take the edge off whenever you are super nauseous and like, what do I do? What do I do? I also got some new bras because we're all about comfort now for the girls, okay? I wanted to show you. So I depended on these two things a ton whenever I started to get really sick as well. So I have my Preggy Pops with me at all time. They're by my bed, they're in the living room. But I also have lavender oil and peppermint oil. So diffusing these helped with my nausea so much. I have a diffuser by my bed and I have one by the couch in the living room. The lavender and peppermint helped so much. Also, like citruses and lemons help a lot. Okay, so the start of week 9. Equally as traumatizing as week 8. The start of week 9, I put, wow, nausea eased off a lot today. I ate a proper meal, but then I almost puked after. So my nausea like kind of eased off at the beginning of week 9. So I was like, oh my God, maybe just week 8, since it was like growth spurt week. Maybe that was why I was so sick and now I'm good. I got a little too cocky and decided to eat regular food. By the way, like the whole time up until this point, I like can't eat. I'm like pretty much a vegetarian because this baby does not like meat. That's a whole nother thing. It just makes me like, when I see like any kind of meat. I stopped at Jason's Deli and I got a sandwich, a warm sandwich, not a cold one. I know I'm not supposed to have cold turkey or whatever, so I got a heated hot sandwich from Jason's Deli. Ate it just fine until it started going down the pipes and I was like, So then I was like, okay, I need to keep like eating light. Maybe I just dove in a little too hard. And then also at the beginning of week 9, I purchased this book from Amazon. It's called The Vaccine Friendly Plan, and Dr. Paul was like a modern medicine doctor, and then he like turned into like more so focusing on your child's like inner health and immune system, and like a very proactive approach to establishing a really good immune system in your child. The title is kind of like, okay, is this gonna be like a weird, controversial book? But it's not. It's very informative. The reason it's called The Vaccine Friendly Plan is he does tell you like for every age of your child, he tells you what vaccines they're gonna need. And he also tells you what they might experience if they have that vaccine, when they have that vaccine, like teaches you how to, he basically teaches you how to advocate for your child. Like, and I know that can be really scary when it comes to vaccines, but he'll also be like, okay, this is the Rogam vaccine or whatever, and he'll tell you exactly what's in it, things to look out for as far as like ingredients and stuff, because different hospitals and different doctors use different types. He just explains like I know that MMR vaccine is really controversial because it has a lot to do with like autism, and so it's just to make you feel like more empowered as a parent whenever it comes to vaccines and making good decisions. I am gonna be vaccinating my child just because I'm not at the point where I feel comfortable enough to just not vaccine my kid. But I don't wanna just waltz in and be like, yeah, we're here for the vaccine, sit down, okay, boop, 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 okay, we're gone. Like not even know what it is, not even know what's in it, not even know how my child may be feeling after. I also like that he tells you which vaccines are okay to delay a little bit. So if there's certain vaccines like, yes, they need to get, or maybe like you want them to get, but maybe there's a point in their life where they're a little bit stronger and they won't react so negatively to it. So I just thought that this was really, really nice to have. He goes on about choking, which is really good because I'm planning on doing baby-led weaning, the flu vaccine, and just like literally everything for just having a really healthy child. It did freak me out a little bit. And he also talks about acetaminophen, which is Tylenol. And I read this after I took a lot of Tylenol for my estrogen headaches. So I was freaking out because of the information that he shared about acetaminophen, but he does it pretty passively, and he just encourages you to avoid it if you can, because acetaminophen happens to be one of the most toxic of the painkillers on the market. I know some people that will only do like ibuprofen for them and their children, but while you're pregnant you can only have Tylenol. So that's why these oils and the cold rag like really came through for me. And then I decided that I was gonna try and work out for the first time in months, because I stopped working out whenever we started IVF because I needed to take it easy, okay? And I couldn't have these big fat ovaries and be bouncing around on my bike, and I couldn't strain or lift too heavy. So I decided to work out for the first time, and it was not pretty. Didn't last too long. I did my best, okay? But it just, yeah, we're just gonna pretend like it never happened, okay? TMI, but I had super, super, super bad constipation, and that is from progesterone. So a lot of women that are pregnant experience constipation because of progesterone. It like slows everything in your intestines and stuff down. But let me remind you, I'm also on progesterone injections, okay? So it's like a double whammy for me. So what I have been doing to combat this, which it didn't work for a hot minute. Like, I'm willing to say that it didn't work for like a week. And a week with no, feels like a century. I felt like I had bricks in my stomach. It was awful. So I take this pre and probiotic that I get off Amazon. This is like my 3rd bottle. I love it so much. I can tell a huge difference from it. I also take 2 Colace. every single night with my prenatal. And then I do drink Metamucil. Guys, it's just been rough around here. It's been rough. I try not to complain, but it's like you hear about how hard the first trimester is, but you don't really you just don't get it until you go through it. I totally underestimated the first trimester. Okay guys, that is it for this week's bump date. I will see you in 2 weeks for my 10 and 11 week bump date. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, join our village. We gotta go through a lot around here, but hopefully it's just smooth sailing from now on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I'll be there if you reach out to me.